She's gone. Technical difficulties. Yeah. Yeah, there we are. She's back.
Had a dog moment there, barking. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the today's virtual conference. Sophie, you've done brilliantly today, and I thought it's gone really, really well. I'm super proud. So well done, and thank you. So this is our brief AGM. I've got a couple of apologies, one from Steve Salt, and I don't think Emma Kelly has been able to make it either. So apologies from those guys. So I'm going to start off today just to tell you a little bit about the AGM this year, which is an abridged version due to the virtual platform that we're on now. But any information that anybody requires will be available upon request. So feel free to drop me an email via the website, or my contact details are on, I think they may be on the website, but yeah, my email certainly is. So if anybody wants any further information, feel free to give me a shout. So just to outline a little bit about the ABST committee, every year we hold a meeting, and we have lots of meetings, but specifically with regard to, with regard to the ABST committee positions. And we put a vote out to all of the ABST members, and that vote was done earlier this year, and all members were voted back into their current positions, which is great. So we also, as part of that vote, have to nominate and elect a president-elect to follow in Keith's footsteps, somebody to shadow him for this year, and with a view to becoming president for 2022. And that person was voted in. His name is Lucas Fusniger, who some of you may remember worked for IREX, but has now moved to Village Bakery. And I think Keith will introduce him a bit further on in the AGM if Lucas is present, so I need to double check that. Going forward, we need to call for nominations for President-elect 2022, who will then shadow Lucas for the next 2 years. So if anybody has any suggestions or any people they'd like to put forward, if you could get in touch either via the ABST Instagram or email address, website, and just let us know if there's anybody you think would be appropriate, and we will put them into the mix. So we need to get that in place for the next, probably for around September time, ideally. So yeah, look forward to hearing from anybody who has any ideas. I'm going to pass quickly over to Sophie again, who's just going to give a quick overview of this conference, although we've all been following it, but just as part of the AGM, and a view on hopefully conference 2022. So I'll just pass back to you quickly, Soph.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. So obviously this year, unfortunately, it couldn't be the conference that we had hoped. I was planning on returning us back to Alton Towers again for our kind of regular proceedings, drinking, partying, baking, you know, all the like. But unfortunately, you know, we just felt that the restrictions were not lifting at the pace that we could confidently say, yes, we can go ahead. And obviously with the COVID situation as is at the minute, it's very difficult to get any kind of insurance for, with the pandemic as it is, it's difficult to get any insurance for any large events right now that will cover a cancellation in that case. So we felt it was better, and you know, also we have a duty of care to our representatives, to our student members and to our industry reps. So we didn't want to put anyone in harm's way by involving them in a mass gathering basically this year. But things are looking positive for next year. The vaccine rollout is going really well. Restrictions are lifting. Obviously, we'll hear more about that in the coming weeks, but we have booked back in for conference 2022 at Alton Towers Hotel, and that will be from the 9th until the 12th of June 2022. So we're looking at the same weekend, but next year, and I'm really hopeful that it's going to go ahead. If it does, I can guarantee you it's going to be the biggest party ABST have ever had. we're going to have a really great time, and we all can't wait to be reunited. So I know that Sarah has put a poll up asking for you to vote on next year's costume theme. So we want to get back to that. Unfortunately, I didn't feel it would be very professional for me to do this year's conference in my big fried egg costume. So we haven't done that this year, but go and vote for that. And yeah, then look forward to seeing you next year. I'll be releasing further information as we go along, which will kind of include newsletters and progress updates, things like that. But tutors, if you could just stay in touch with Dawn and Steve, they've done an incredible job staying in contact with you while you've been struggling through this year's curriculum. But just stay in touch and stay on our socials for updates for next year.
Thank you, Sophie. On that point, just to remind everybody that currently membership for the ABST is actually free. So if you have any friends that are considering joining us, then now is the time. So if you guys could all promote that, that would be great. With regard to membership information, all of that will be updated and put on our website, and there will be contact details there for you to submit any questions about membership, or for you to enroll in the ABST. So hopefully we look forward to seeing a few more members next year. I'm going to quickly pass over to Keith Hulliston. Have we got Keith?
Shall I bring him up, Sam?
Yeah.
I'll just invite him up. Which one is he on?
Back on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just bring him up now.
So Keith is obviously the current president of the ABST, and he will remain in place due to the pandemic until next June, when he will then hand over to the new president-elect. So I'll just pass you over to Keith now.
Well, thank you very much, Sam. First thing, of course, as I mentioned earlier on, and of course Sam has as well, is our new Vice President, Lucas Funegger. I mean, a young, enthusiastic professional who has the background of a craft baker. He's from Germany. He's worked with the company IREX, and he recently has had a new role with Robin Jones at the Village Bakery in Wrexham. And he really does want to make his mark on the ABST. And as I say, you will be hearing from him at the end of the conference. I just all like to say that the last 1.5 years has been tough. It really has. And of course, businesses have all been affected and whatever. But the one thing we've got to do is to keep the ABST alive and kicking. We put together a 3-year strategy from the committee, which they're all bought into, and we will be working on that to make sure that the ABST gets bigger and better over the next few years. The ABST committee have also been working on the T levels and the level 3, which is a big role in terms of getting things done there. A lot of good work there by Sarah Orton, Don Gemmell, to name 2, which is great. I mentioned earlier on about, and Sophie has as well, about the CBA offering funds for the students, for yourselves, to help you financially attend various conferences and internships and whatever requires to, by applying for the money. So that's real positive. Again, mention our sponsors. The sponsors of this year, the sponsors are mentioned, are the who submitted money the last time we had the actual conference at Alton Towers, and hopefully they will do the same in up and coming conferences. But these sponsors have all been named on the throughout the conference, and we really do thank you for. I'd also just like to thank the members of the people that worked hard on. I mentioned Don Gemmell, great job. Graham Duckworth, our treasurer Graham Turner, Stephen Salt, Sarah Alton, who does a great job, and of course our General Secretary Sam White, who you just heard from. But again, I mean, we're all saying it, what a fantastic job Sophie Breaker has done. Sophie, from everybody here, you've done a great job. Okay, so that's my bit for the AGM. Sam?
Thank you, Keith. Thank you. Just before I come to any other business, I want to reiterate what Keith just said. For those of you who don't know what the committee do. Everybody on the committee is a volunteer, and we use our own time, our own expenses, and we meet regularly at the weekends when it's not in the middle of COVID. So the people on the committee are made up of industry professionals and bakery tutors, and everybody really works hard for the benefit of the ABST, and we're all passionate about students and trainees in this industry. And if there is anything that you guys feel that we could offer from, you know, as a committee or as an association, please get in touch. Equally, if anybody wants to be involved in the committee as a student rep or you know, in whatever way, shape or form, please get in touch, because it's really important we hear from you guys in order to be able to deliver what you need. So, and that's really important in your careers. And as Keith pointed out earlier, we're working with the CBA to allow that segue through your career. So when you leave the ABST, you know, when you leave university or college or you know, your apprenticeship, our responsibility doesn't stop there. It's our responsibility to ensure that you have a pathway through the industry from, you know, a segue from university or college into your you know, workplace or your job or your new business. So any questions you may have or any help we can offer, please get in touch. So yeah, and I would also like to thank everybody on the committee, because you all work really, really hard. And I came on board this year or last year, new to this, and everybody has supported me. So yeah, it's we're there for you guys, the students and the trainees. So please get in touch. So that brings me to any other business. I don't know if hang on, I'm just seeing if there's any messages coming up. Do we have any other business? Sarah, Graham, is there anything you guys want to mention?
Sorry, Sam, I know that Graham Turner, I don't think he's on the stream right now, but he did just mention previous to this, finances. Anyone is concerned about finances, just get in touch with him. But we are basically in the same position as we were last year, because we've had very minimal outgoing and incoming revenue for the year.
Okay. Okay, Sarah's going to leave the theme poll open until the end of conference to give everyone a chance to vote. So that, just to round up, we need to set a date and time of the next ABST meeting, which I suggest we do in July, with a view to a larger meeting in September, hopefully face-to-face then. But just to get things in place before students go back to college, school, university. So if the members of the committee could let me know some dates, maybe the second or third week, the Saturday, if they can do that Saturday, could they let me know? And I will put an official date in the diary. So, and I think that rounds up the AGM. And once again, apologies that it's a shorter AGM, but I'm sure not everybody wants to go hear all the boring stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But just to reiterate, if there's any information from anything we've just said that people would like further detail on, please get in touch. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. And so just to add to that very briefly, I will write up the minutes of this year's AGM and make them available to our members. So coming up next on our schedule, so we're going to have a couple of videos now from different places. So we've got some college submissions. We've got a really excellent demo submitted by Catherine from Couplands, and then we've also got another UCB video. Following on from that, we're going to do the raffle announcement, because the prizes were called, so really exciting. And then after that, we're going to have our final speaker of the day, Richard Burtonay, and then we will close out this year's conference. So I'll just share the logos while I get ready to share some videos with you guys. Thank you so much.